Oh my goodness, you guys not gonna believe this. There are reports stating, and I have it here, Beyonce wants to run away. She is planning her escape from Jay-Z. You have heard it here. This is why she's running so fast to do so many tours and work so hard. She's trying to gather money to escape. They are saying she's trying to leave the country. Even though Jay-Z has been winning lawsuits, it looks good for him. But Beyonce is still in fear of her life. Remember, before the lawsuits, Beyonce didn't want anything to do with Jay-Z. She was trying to escape before all this hit. So, honey, when I tell you we have to pray for Beyonce, it's so much stuff that's going on. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. I was at my girlfriend's Be With the T channel, and she is exposing everything. I would love to react to her video about Beyonce escaping Jay-Z. Listen to this, you guys. Make sure you comment. I want to know what you guys think about this, okay?
Okay, you guys, so a blind item is being put out about Beyonce, and it goes very deep. It talks about how she's depressed, how she's tired of doing music, but the people around her are forcing her to continue to perform and make that money. Now, it's also alleging that that's the reason why we have seen Beyonce going so hard lately, because she's getting ready to allegedly make her escape. Now, we noticed that Beyonce has been going in overdrive. I mean, it's tour after tour, album after album. Now, since 2022, we have gotten 2 albums from Beyonce and 2 tours. And if all goes as planned, we will get another album next year and another tour the year after that. So that's 3 albums and 3 tours within 5 years. Y'all, that's a lot. Now, not to mention, Beyonce dropped her perfume, her hair care line, and her whiskey line all within 8 months of each other. Now, she came out with her perfume line in November of 2023, her hair care line in February of 2024, and her whiskey line in August of 2024. Y'all, that's a lot. But I want y'all to listen to what this blind item is saying as to why she's been working so hard and moving so funny. Now, we are reading, so y'all get your popcorn. Okay, so it says industry insiders have been whispering about this for a while. If you're wondering why her bodyguard chased after her at that big award show recently, it's because Stinger, it says Stinger, but I'm going to say Singer, okay, has threatened to flee the country multiple times. She's done with the control, the pressure, and the handlers who make every decision for her. They're afraid she'll leave without notice, and they're right to be. Singer suffers from depression and has as thoughts. Her team sees her as a danger to herself, but what they're really afraid of is losing their cash cow. They've kept her under control for years, but they won't be able to much longer. She's on the verge of rebelling, she's fed up with her mother's control, and she's tired of her husband's influence. She's questioning her finances and demanding an audit. Here's the truth. She doesn't want to work like this anymore. Singer is exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally. She's been doing this for decades, and she just wants to relax, rest, and finally live her life on her own terms. But her team and family won't let her. She didn't even want to do this tour, but she's doing it for 2 reasons: to reach a specific financial goal that will let her escape for good, and because her family and label are pushing her to work while she still can. Yes, this is why the tickets were so expensive. Yes, this is why she's suddenly diversifying her business moves. Yes, this is why she's quietly buying property outside the U.S. Lawsuits are coming. Her finances aren't adding up. She's been spending more than she's making, and she's terrified of being trapped in this cycle forever. She just wants peace. She wants to slow down, step back, and not have to grind anymore. But the people around her won't let her stop working. But here's the real tea. She knows what happened to her idol when he tried to break free. Now, I'm assuming she's talking about Michael Jackson. She's afraid of the same fate. That's why she's quietly making moves, setting up her escape, and ensuring that when she finally disappears, she won't be forced to come back. I'm just saying, if she suddenly cancels shows or starts spending more time overseas, just know it's not just for fun. Believe what you want, but when it all comes out, remember this post. That's a lot, but this is how some people are responding. Some are buying it and some are not. One person said, tickets were expensive because tickets are expensive. They were expensive last time too. Exactly. The Carters are always thinking of generational wealth. Jay has always rapped about it. They want to set their bloodline up where they never have to work. I hope she doesn't feel trapped financially. If it's who everyone is thinking, she'll have people willing to support her, like Tina Turner had financial backing when she left Ike. Everything she's been doing lately makes sense once you know the truth. I'm industry adjacent, many friends in the business, and people talk. It's really as simple as that. Now, do I believe it? I don't know, y'all. I'm 50-50, but I have seen some crazy blind items that I didn't believe end up being true, so I don't really know how to take this. Now, it was rumors going around that the reason Beyonce has been working so hard is because she plans on or wants to leave her husband, but that is also just speculation, so we really never know what's really going on in the world of these celebrities, especially when they're high up like Beyonce. But I'm asking you guys, do you believe it? Do you think Beyonce is tired? Do you think she's being forced to work? Do you think she's looking for her out? Y'all let me know what you think about this entire situation. But moving on.
I remember being like, oh, that's weird. All of Beyonce's posts from Diddy's party are fucking gone, and any evidence of her being there are fucking gone.
You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim makes.
Recently, shocking revelations have come to light about some of the biggest names in the industry. Names like Diddy, Jay-Z, Floyd Mayweather, Young Miami, and yes, even Beyonce. With Diddy now behind bars on a racketeering indictment, many are beginning to question the silence of his closest friends and collaborators, especially Jay-Z and Beyonce. In this video, we dive deep into the dark side of Hollywood's elites and explore the allegations that link them to disturbing networks of abuse, betrayal, and cover-ups. Has Beyonce finally broken her silence? Let's take a closer look. Recently, a TikToker sparked major curiosity after pointing out something strange, a social media blackout. All posts about Beyonce attending a party hosted by Diddy have mysteriously disappeared. Could this be a deliberate attempt to scrub the internet clean of any connection between Queen Bee and Diddy during this pivotal moment in his court case?
Okay, and this is a 2013 blind item that was brought back again on March 4th about Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, Kelly Rowland. In 2013, the Queen Bee and her husband attended a New Year's Eve party in Miami, which was being thrown by Mr. Freakoff. No one who was there has ever forgotten that night because she spent the entire night in the pool dancing into space. Her best friend, who recently starred in the Netflix movie, called for help, but she was ignored. It's like she was in a trance. By the way, so this is Beyonce and Jay-Z party into 2014 at Diddy's New Year's Eve bash. So you can Google that, Diddy's 2013, New Year's Eve bash, obviously bringing in 2014. And you can see in the articles how they had had linked Beyonce's Instagram account, and all of her posts from this 2013 party were removed when I initially reported on this blind item from my main account at the beginning of March. I just find that interesting. Do you guys see how all of these chips were kind of falling? This is why I'm also so pissed my main's not here anymore, because I had captured this all in real time. And I remember being like, oh, that's weird. All of Beyonce's posts from Diddy's party are fucking gone, and any evidence of her being there are fucking gone.
The TikToker didn't stop there. They also mentioned that other huge names like Floyd Mayweather and Young Miami were at the same party. Is there something going on behind the scenes? Something that these stars are trying to hide?
Because my main account is banned where all of my Diddy blind items from this month are, I'm just going to do all the March 2024 Diddy blind items so we can see the lead up to this. Starting off March 1st, and this is Little Rod, Rodney Jones, Sean Diddy Combs, and this is the male victim that came forward. It's pretty easy to tell that whoever wrote the recent lawsuit against the wannabe rapper / producer reads this website on a pretty regular basis. They even use some of the same clues in their blind items. And I said before, and I'm saying again, no, That's because the blind item has been recording crimes that have been reported to them instead of the police for the past fucking 20 years, and they just corroborate the actual little crimes that, 3 homes got raided for today because of. Okay, this next one's also from March 1st. They call Diddy Mr. Freakoff. Mr. Freakoff isn't the only one who asked for straight men to be delivered to his hotel room when he is in London. Just ask the Unlocked blogger, and that's Jason Lee, and the weather boxer, Floyd Mayweather. This British rapper, and that's Giggs, and the socialite with the star in his name target dealers who want the extra cash, who are sure to be discreet because they have girlfriends. This is why the powerful rapper, and that's 50, is always mocking them, and why they're too afraid to say anything back. He's seen the videos. This is TD Jakes and Mr. Freakoff. Those closest to the televangelist warned him about being associated with Mr. Freakoff, but he did not listen. Some of the men who claim to have stories about his private life have given him the name General High Booty. So Mr. Freakoff is Diddy, General High Booty is TD Jakes. I'm sure you can do the math on how that got there, that nickname. Sorry guys, I'm flustered right now. Fucking this is huge. Young Miami, the girlfriend of the wannabe rapper, who was also named in a very recent lawsuit, has started selling off all of her possessions online. This is from March 4th. It sounds like the wannabe rapper cut her off financially. So Diddy cuts his girlfriend Young Miami off on March 4th. You are like almost exactly 20 days later. That's him. Like I said, he was offloading all of his assets into offshore bank accounts, and with his mommy and with his kids, he didn't have any more cash in his bank accounts for Young Miami to get. They were all in the Caymans.
The plot thickens when we bring up Ali Carter, a figure who has come forward with disturbing accusations. According to Carter, major celebrities like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy are involved in an alarming network of abuse. These allegations are nothing short of horrifying, and if true, they paint an entirely different picture of the music industry.
I don't know what happened. I was down there for a while. There's certain people that you don't talk about because you just don't. There were certain people that I seen down there, from Beyonce, Jay-Z. You don't tell on P. Diddy, but P. Diddy.
So you said you don't tell on these people. Is that like a code that all victims adhere to? They don't talk about this stuff?
Yes, you don't, because nobody's gonna believe you. You're nothing to them. You don't count. You're just a toy. You're not essential, as they call them. You're expendable. And as a child in that situation, I wasn't the type of person that was fighting all the time, because I started to learn.
Next, we turn to another voice of dissent, Jaguar Wright, known for exposing some of the music industry's most guarded secrets. She claimed that Jay-Z, Beyonce's husband, was just as bad as Diddy. According to her, both men are monsters with dark histories of manipulation and control.
You've been called a whistleblower. You knew Sean Diddy Combs for a long time. You attended a number of his infamous parties. And in 2022, you made headlines after comments where you called him a sex trafficker. And in response, you were called crazy and jealous. Do you feel vindicated
Yes.
by the events of the last few weeks?
No, not at all. Because he's just the beginning. Until him and his cohorts are all held to account publicly and legally, the victims, they're not safe.
How bad was it?
That's what I care about. I care about the victim.
No, I understand. How bad was it, do you think, what was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman who he assaulted. To live through these things and hear your elders in the business. People like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you.
So
You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
As Diddy faces serious charges of racketeering, his relationship with Jay-Z has come under even greater scrutiny. The two have been known to be close for years, with Jay-Z attending many of Diddy's notorious parties.
It's 2020, y'all. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no...
In fact, their friendship is so deep that people are starting to wonder why Jay-Z hasn't spoken out about Diddy's arrest.
There's only one person. Go on. Then I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean. Okay. Yeah, nobody else could call me Sean. He's the only person who's Sean. There's not a single person that should be outside of my mother. Okay, just...
Now that Diddy is behind bars, it's impossible to ignore Jay-Z's silence. Is he worried that he too might be implicated? What did Jay-Z know about Diddy's activities? And how long has he been covering up the truth?
It's 2020, y'all. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a Black billionaire's lunch.
She pointed out something even more shocking, the connections between Diddy, Jay-Z, and other infamous figures like Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and R. Kelly.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice.
Recently, while arriving in places, Jay-Z seemed nervous, probably about being questioned about Diddy and why he's been avoiding the topic for so long.
Honey, comment. What do you guys think? Should we go live about this later on this week? If you want us to do that, press 5. Comment. What do you guys think about this?